Have you ever felt discriminated against due to your race or gender?
No, not necessarily. Like, I think, like, some people take it different ways, like, take how people treat them different ways. And sometimes people use, like, excuses of the race and gender, but I feel like I haven't personally been discriminated against for my race or gender. But yeah.
What do you think this campus can do to improve campus diversity?
Um, I think the campus should have more, because I know we have like diversity clubs and stuff, but I feel like they're not advertised as well as they should be. Okay. And like, because able women, like, people think that that's only for African American women, but it's not. It's for people of all color, all gender. So like, I just feel like it should be like put out there that um, there's like places where people can feel welcome and with like other diverse people, and like we should like promote that at our campus, I feel.
What's your perspective and view on the recent events that take place on college campuses regarding racism and, along those guidelines?
Well, I think it's important that that we understand the biases that we face daily don't just disappear because we're on a college campus. I know we'd like to think that a lot of the racism, sexism, just bias and discrimination in general disappears. But a lot of that is apparent between the inner workings of communities, in between the inner workings of how certain universities handle certain events that happen. Of course, they have instances where, like in Oklahoma, an SAE chapter, they chanted something racist on their bus, and effective immediately their chapter at the school was, I think it was the University of Oklahoma, their chapter at the school was completely negated, and they were banned from the campus. Right. And then you have other instances in Missouri where students are being called racial slurs. They have nooses, other nooses hanging out. They have other discriminatory acts and other acts of prejudice against them, right. And it's almost swept under the rug. And for the most part, I've only been at this campus for one semester, but I can determine that UNR isn't as bad as some other places, but it still happens here, and I wish I could shed more light on that. But I think that
well, recently there was a march, on college.
Yes, the Black Student Union, I saw that.
Yeah, and there were some racist remarks posted on the anonymous.
Yeah, I saw those too. Yeah, so again, it doesn't seem as bad from the outside, but when you're involved in those processes and you're involved in trying to make a change, it really brings out the ugly in other people. So but I definitely think it's necessary. I definitely think it needs to continue, and I definitely think that working with the community and working with the university and continuing to voice the discrepancies is what's gonna promote change.
Is it recording? All right. Do you feel like this campus is diverse?
I feel in a general sense, yes, because me, especially coming from a town that's predominantly white, I see this like widespread of different diverse cultures being brought together here at the university, and I think it's a really good thing. It adds to the diversity factor, and yeah.
So my next question for you is, would you vote for Donald Trump? Why or why not?
I would not vote for Donald Trump, and personally it's because he stands for everything I am against. And being a Hispanic male, a lot of his views oppose me as a person, and that is why I would never in a million years vote for someone like him.
Okay, thank you.
Do you feel discriminated against being on this college campus?
Yes. At first, I came to here. Some people said, "Are you?" Some people asked me, "Are you Chinese?" But I'm Japanese, and they didn't understand I'm Japanese. So some people shout me, "Chinese, Chinese." So I was very shocked.
Okay.
Give me an example of a time you felt discriminated against on campus.
Yeah, last night my friend, he was going to check me into the LSC, and the RA, he didn't accept my foreign ID, so I had to give him my passport and my visa, and I felt really bad because he didn't accept my foreign ID.
How do you feel about the gender neutral bathrooms are getting put around campus?
Well, I feel like it's a good change for those who feel oppressed going into just one gender specific bathroom, that going into one that's designated for everybody and they feel equal. There shouldn't really be like any issues with it, I don't think.
You see what he just put up? What's going on? How do you feel about institutional racism?
I think it's a special experience for Asians because, I mean, when you talk about institutional racism and opponents to that, they always say about like, oh, Asians make the most money, and they'll say that there's no white privilege. But I mean, just to put just a wide like broad like branding of Asians, just say Asians, it just doesn't like give us, it doesn't like accurately portray our experience, because the reason why we make so much money is because our immigration experience has been different from like other people, in that we were handpicked from Korea and Japan and China, like the best people, and that's why we make so much money. But then if you look at like if we make the most money and then we're the most qualified to work, then why is it that we're not in the CEOs? We're not the CEOs of companies. You see that the CEOs are mostly white. We're usually like the people who are making the work, and these companies profit off of our work. And like Silicon Valley, for an example, is that a lot of the people working there are Asian, and then the people who like own those companies are white. And so I guess that's one aspect of institutional
Some
racism.
good stuff there.
True that. I was literally gonna say Silicon Valley.
No.